We've officially made it to the National. Today is day one. Hasn't even started yet. Gonna go grab my badge here in just a minute. Hoping to get into the show floor a little early, give you guys a little bit of a preview. And then we got a ton of fun things planned today. We're gonna be grabbing silver packs from Topps. I got some boxes ready to go. We're gonna be filming the first episode of the Hobby Handbook. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to share that with you guys next week, most likely at some point. And then of course, we're gonna be looking for deals, looking to meet a bunch of you guys. And the biggest goal of the weekend is that Shohei Ohtani rookie auto. We'll see whether or not we can close out a deal. I got a bunch of stuff to trade and a bunch of cash to maybe just outright buy it. Let's get to it. Here's your first look at the entry hall to the National. You've got all the advertisements and everything for the big companies that are there, but this room was where everybody was waiting. This room filled up every single day. There was a line down the block. Really, really cool. Just entry and first thing that you would see when you would walk into the show. And then, of course, you want to get yourself onto that show floor to start dealing. So the very first thing that we're going to do here at the National today is grab some silver packs. That line, I'm at the end of it right now. We'll see how long it takes. But in line, generally my approach is that by taking these things that we're going to do in line and, getting in line first, hopefully then you have more time to actually go buy cards, do other things, etc. So we'll see how long this takes. I'll report back and show you guys the process for doing these silver packs. So while I stand in line, I figured I'd explain the process a little bit. We've got our boxes. I have 7 boxes of Series 2 and 1 box of 25 Heritage. You have to bring the boxes to Topps sealed. So it has, the Topps wrapper still on the outside of it. You bring this to them. They then will cut off the exterior wrapper. So they leave all the inside pack sealed, but they cut off the exterior wrapper and then they will trade you a silver pack for this. Now the silver packs are pretty valuable. Historically, they're about $70 roughly market. I'm sure they'll be higher today, go down as time goes on, simple supply and demand. But what it's nice is just that it really cuts down the price or value of these boxes. So I got these boxes at an average, I think $110 between all the boxes that I have. And this then is gonna allow me to open these and have some extra, juice that we can potentially maybe hit something really, really cool. So now we're waiting for the line to start moving, and I'm gonna show you guys what this process looks like as we go. Seems like line's starting to move at about 3:35, so about 15-20 minutes in line thus far. Here's a quick look at your silver packs this year. You've got the baseball, college football, and then Star Wars. So as you can see here, they basically take the boxes, take off, cut the wrapper off, and then they will give you a silver pack in return. And so here is the actual wrapper redemption. They take off that exterior cellophane wrap, and then they give you back your hobby box and the silver pack in return. Here we are at the PSA booth. Time to drop off our cards. Crazy long line though. Standing in this PSA line has me feeling like I'm at Disney World. They even have an estimated wait time, 45 to 90 minutes. I've been here at least 40 minutes thus far. See how much longer it takes. 90 minutes later, we are done with the PSA booth. Time to actually walk around and enjoy the show. The PCA as well as the Shohei Ohtani Red should be ready tomorrow. The James Wood, we probably won't see until Saturday, maybe Friday if we're lucky. It's technically end of show, but they have to start to grade some of those things early or they're gonna get backed up with the stuff that gets dropped off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, this makes me feel really good about my decision to sell that Cactus Jack box from Fanatics Fest. If you guys remember, I was able to win it in the lottery system, and right then and there, when you were done with it, the David Adams booth was right next to the Topps booth, and they were offering to buy those boxes for $1,200. If you guys remember, I was debating back and forth, do I sell it, do I not sell it? I actually bumped into somebody here who I talked with at Fanatics Fest about that exact question, and, well, he said that he had the same question and actually ended up ripping his box instead of selling it, and he pulled an Ohtani Red out of 5. Well, maybe my box could have had that. I doubt it. And considering this, I think I made the right choice. So you've got the boxes for $12.50. I mean, they may make 50 bucks, but I think we did pretty well. And again, you never know ultimately what was in that box, but seeing them sitting on those boxes, maybe one of those boxes was my box. You never know, but I think given that, I feel like we made the right choice. Do you guys agree, disagree? Let me know. We're getting close to the end of day number 1 here. It's just a preview day, and one of the tips or just perspectives and things that I would say to you is, especially at a big show like this, don't force it. Do I feel weird walking out having not bought a card today? Yeah, it's definitely weird to come to the National and leave without a card. That being said, at my first National, it took me 3 days to buy a card. At an experience like this, there's so many cool cards, so many big things, but not all the deals are necessarily there, and it's easy to get caught up and spend your money. My tip is wait for the right deal, wait for the right card, and I think that you're gonna be a lot happier going forward at least. So we may have not bought a card today. I think we did some cool stuff. We've got the silver packs, which we're gonna go back and show you guys off those very, very shortly. We've got all those hobby boxes that I'm gonna rip into tonight. I mean, it's not often you rip 8 hobby boxes, but they're open and I can't do anything else with them. So we'll see what we hit, see if we, you know, make back our money and all there. It's worth the fun though. So should be a good time. Let's go do that. All right, we're back at the hotel. Let's rip some silver packs. Now before the silver packs, we did rip into the hobby boxes that got us these silver packs. A couple of really nice hits. We hit the Paul Skeens on the home field advantage. We hit Cal Raleigh. I was shocked. This last sale was $340 on the gold auto out of the silver pack. And then we did hit an All Kings Fernando Tatis Jr. That's another like $200 card. So did we make our money back on those hobby boxes? Not exactly, but I think we did better than I anticipated. I have not seen this year's silver pack design. Very, very curious to see what it looks like. And I'm very curious to know the hit rate as well. Last year we opened, I think it was 8 packs and we got 1 hit, if my memory is correct. So let's see what this looks like. Nice start here on the Kobe Mayo. He is playing very well right now. So not sure how I feel on the design. I like it. I don't know that I love it. Got James Tibbs on the prospect card. Hagen Smith. And an Acuna auto out of 25 in the first pack? Okay. That's a pretty great start. Let me grab a sleeve for that. We will take that. Dang. Not too shabby start there. 19 out of 25 on the Acuna. We got an Ohtani here. Vladdy, Jesus Mate, and Jose Branseco. So that is what we refer to as a base pack. So you're only getting base cards. Pack number 3 of 8 here. I'd like to see a numbered card parallel, more fine with more autos, but Luis Angel Acuna, Alcantara, another Branseco, and a Quinn Matthews. So again, like some of these packs sell aftermarket for like 80-ish bucks. Packs like that are rough. Packs like the Acuna pack are fantastic. You got Julio, Kumar Rocker, Jack Caglione, that's a nice one for sure, and Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin, many people have him as the #1 overall prospect in baseball right now. So again, feeling like we're seeing that it's harder and harder to pull a numbered card out of these packs, which is just tough. You've got Paul Skeens, Ellie De La Cruz, Kevin McGonigal, and Max Clark. So again, 1 numbered card out of 5 packs so far, and it wasn't a Acuna auto, so I can't complain. Too much, at least. Okay, so we do have a numbered card here. We've got a gold. But first, we got my boy Juan Soto, Christian Moore, another Jesus Mate, and Bryce Rainier, very good prospect for the Detroit Tigers. And he's hurt right now, but still, I think he's like a top 10-ish level player. So 2 numbered cards. I'd love it if we can get 3. If we can get 3, I'm going to feel decently happy. Is that an orange? That is an orange. So we hit 3. Bobby Witt Jr., Eduardo Quintero, Nick Kurtz. He's on a crazy tear right now. And another Eduardo Quintero. So not one of the biggest names prospect-wise, but an orange out of 25. Can we hit the 50% mark? Can we hit 4 numbered cards in 8 packs? I'm going to go with no. It's my guess. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Unless we hit an auto, which you never know. Did not think we hit a numbered card in the first pack. But Jacob Wilson, his teammate Nick Kurtz, is taking away his shot, I think, at Rookie of the Year. Mookie Betts, Bazana, and a Bryce Rainier there. So, curious, what do you guys think of this year's design? What do you guys think of these packs? Some very cool cards. I mean, obviously, pleased to hit a couple of numbered cards. We hit some big names. We hit Ohtani. We hit Skeens. But what do you guys think of these? Looking forward to this. I'm debating whether or not I want to grab another pack or 2. We'll see what we do with the rest of the show. All right, it is day 2 of the National. Got a lot of fun things planned today. Rocking the Red Sox jersey because we are meeting David Ortiz. Going to be getting it autographed there. Going to show you guys that off Should be really, really cool. I'm gonna buy some cards today. That is a guarantee, whether it be on the show floor or at trade night. Should be fun, but let's hit the floor. So one of the first things that I'm doing today is I'm obviously starting to look for some cards, but I want to talk about the way that I'm approaching that. And I'm being very detail oriented and walking kind of row by row by row, because with so many cards, with so many dealers, it's so easy to loop back around and end up walking down the same rows and the same paths where you end up just seeing the same cards again and again. So I'm starting at one end of the show and just gonna walk and kind of see what I'm able to see. And when we decide to pivot to something else, then I just gotta remember where I left myself off at. So we'll see what we can find. Really cool here watching a live taping of the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast. They had Michael Rubin and Mike Mahan on. Awesome to see Mike and Jesse interviewing them. Really, really fun. If you guys want to hear this interview, the audio wasn't great, unfortunately, on my end, but they have great audio on their podcast. Go check it out. I've got it linked below. My podcast is launching on August 7th, Thursday, so go check that out. Maybe one day we'll get guests like this. Who knows? That's one of the big perks and very, very cool things about the new partnership with SCN and launching the Hobby Handbook is getting behind the scenes like this. Not every day that you get to hang out and, be in the same space and room as a billionaire, Michael Rubin, and head of Fanatics with Mike Mahan. Very, very cool. New episode may be live of the Hobby Handbook by the time that you guys see this, but if you want to check out that interview that you guys just saw a few little clips of, not sure how the audio is going to turn out, but if you want to see that, go check out the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast, because they are filming that now and it'll be up later today, I know for sure. So one of the cool things with the National, obviously, is all of the incredible cards that you're going to see. Case full of Jordan rookies, and then some just crazy cards here. You've got these LeBron autos, Michael Jordan dual autos with LeBron. Of course, you just don't see this stuff anywhere. And then this is an awesome pool host. Would love to have one of those one day. That Ohtani rookie auto chase is big. That Heritage auto there, I actually think is a decent price. Here's every card that I got on day 2 of the National. All right, so we're going to show you guys every card that we grabbed today between the show floor as well as trade night. The show floor, we didn't do too much, honestly. I think we only did one deal on the show floor, which is crazy that we are basically a day and a half. I know it's day 2, but the first day is really just a preview day of the National. We're a day and a half in and have bought a total of 1 lot off the show floor, but sometimes that's just how the National is, if I'm being perfectly honest. Trade night is really great. Really cool Kobe Mayo here. He's starting to play well. But I'm a big proponent of not forcing the deals, not really overdoing it. I come to a show like this and I want to walk away with solid quality inventory, especially given that I'm flying. It's just not worth it to go through and deep value box, dollar box, etc. I want to walk away with quality inventory that I'm confident on through and through. I'm not touching dollar boxes at this show for the most part unless I find something insane, which has not been the case. So trade night was really, really good. I feel like we got some really good pickups. I think that not that the day needed saving, because I'm not here. I'm here obviously to get some cards, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to grab just fun stuff, enjoy the show, make some content for you guys, etc. But trade night definitely saved the day in terms of the quality of the inventory that we walked away with. Definitely am pleased with everything that we were able to pick up there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what day 3 has to hold. Whether or not we're able to get that Ohtani rookie auto, time will tell. Found some on the floor today, less than I thought that I would, if I'm being perfectly honest. Day 3 is now going to also hold the PSA grade reveal, because PSA did not get us back to us today. So definitely going to be some conversation there. Nice Spencer Jones here on the gold auto out of Bowman Sterling. This Griffey I definitely overpaid on, but I don't really care. It's a really cool card that I've never seen before, and I don't know that I'll ever see again. And the Sedan was the last slab that we grabbed. So those are all the cards that we grabbed on day 2. Make sure to stay tuned for day number 3. It is the calm before the storm of day 3 of the National. The line downstairs is already insanely long, and that's just for VIP. If the show is anything like it was yesterday, it is going to be ridiculously busy today, and I don't even want to know what Saturday is going to be like. I'm up here in the VIP room, just waiting for things to open up, waiting for things to get started. A couple of reflections for you guys in the middle of this video, because obviously you may be seeing it, but I think hitting the point where I need some help from a video standpoint. I've been really focusing on trying to get out live content while we're on the show floor with TikTok, but as you probably saw, there wasn't a ton of stuff from day 2 in this video that you're watching, and I think that part of that problem is just that it's really hard to film 2 times, 3 times, etc. between the phone, the camera, and so on. And I think that looking at what other people are doing in terms of the quality. I don't want to change the type of the content. I want my messaging to be the same. I want everything to be real, transparent, honest, etc., like we are now. But I think that we're getting to the point where we're going to need some help in order to up our video production level and our video quality. And part of that might be needing to bring somebody in to do that. So curious on your opinions on whether or not that's the right direction to go, whether or not that will, I never wanted to be the guy having the video guy following me around, with camera crew. And I would not have a crew. I have one guy or one girl. But curious in your opinion, do you think that it's worth that investment, both from a dollar perspective for me as a business, because it's not cheap to get videography, as well as do you think that it will be worth the upgraded content? Curious in your perspectives. Let's go hit day 3 of the National. Maybe gonna go shoot our shot on an Ohtani. We'll see. My big debate on this goal is I just don't know how much I want to spend. I can go buy the Heritage Ohtani rookie auto there that, $10,000. I could do it. I have the money technically, but it's just a matter of the right value, etc. I don't think it's a bad value. I just don't know that it's a great value. And while it is for PC, I'm back and forth. That'd be the biggest card that I've bought by 3x easily. So feels like a really, really big investment, a really, really big move to make. So a little back and forth. Gonna see if maybe we can work something out, use some trade. That just makes me feel better about it. So gotta see PSA and then go do that, because PSA failed us. We don't have our cards back. Hoping to get them back this morning, but who knows. Here's the PSA line. They told me that even though I haven't gotten the email, that it should be hopefully ready. So we're gonna stand and wait and see whether or not they have our cards. All right, finally have this PSA grade reveal. Let's see how we did. 2 days, what should have been 1 day. All right, we're gonna start off with, let's see, Shohei Ohtani, Red Wave. We pulled this one out of 2025 Topps Chrome. I think it's going to be a 9. It's just a little off center. We also have grader notes though, so we'll be able to show you guys exactly why each card got the grade that it did. This one, PSA 9, as we thought. Now, the other big one, now that one would have been $3,000-ish in a 10, so my guess is it's $1,500, maybe $2,000 if we're lucky. The next one, we got the Pete Crow Armstrong. What better place than Chicago? The best baseball player in Chicago right now, PCA on the Cosmic Orange Auto, numbered out of 25. 9 as well. So exactly what we thought. We thought both were going to get 9s. Let's check out the grader notes. All right, so in the Pete Crow Armstrong, lower left, I maybe see a little bit, but I don't know. I'd probably have to look at it under some magnification. And then the Shohei Ohtani, I got to be honest, the top upper left looks perfectly great to me. Again, I thought they were both going to 9. I can't complain too much. Now we got to go see if we can move these on the show floor. It's not often a card makes me stop and turn my head, but an Ohtani Topps Chrome Orange Rookie Auto in a BGS 10 pristine black label is insane. So you guys saw that Ohtani Rookie Auto, and obviously that's not one that I'm able to afford, but it does raise the question for me to some extent, in the realm and vein of the difference between being able to afford something and it being the right card to buy. I've seen some Ohtani autos just at a table over there. I saw a high-tech auto with a $6,000 sticker on it. I can afford that. I saw the Heritage, real one auto at $10,000. I think that's a better deal and a better card than the $6,000 card, but you can buy the $6,000 card and then buy some other really cool cards for the personal collection. And that's where I go back and forth, and I'm not sure whether or not we're gonna find the right one. I know that when the right card comes to me and the right deal is there, I'm gonna take it. I just don't know that we found it yet, so we're gonna keep looking and see if we can find something. Another PC card that I was looking at, this Griffey and Alex Rodriguez duel. He's a little overpriced. I think they do like $200, so went back to look at this Ohtani. Still there, but I just don't know that it's right. He has some amazing rookie autos, though. I would love to just have one of those. So I just went and shot my shot on the Ohtani Heritage. I wasn't going to pay 10 cash. If I could get partial trade towards it, I was willing to consider it. But despite the fact that he's got a bunch of Ohtani, he said I'm not really a baseball guy, which I get. Ohtani's safe, whereas other guys maybe not so as much. So I'd either have to find a way to sell some of these nicer slabs that I've got, but I prefer to use them as trade because I know that I'm not going to get full value just selling them. So the hunt continues. Little national negotiation tip. Just grabbed this Corbin Carroll on the gold spotlights. Really, really cool card. I love the spotlights. They turn them into a case hit, but what I want to talk about is this dealer had a $125 sticker on this, and his price was fair. Last 9.5 did 115, so yeah, he's a little above comp, but it's the National. I came in with what I thought was a reasonable offer, 100 bucks. Last few raws did like 85-ish, and I said, hey, would you do 100 bucks on it? He was like, how about 110? I said, how about 100? We're back and forth there a little bit, and I said, listen, man, I totally get it if you don't want to move it. I did, though, hear him say that one of his showcases was his collection stuff, and the other one was his eBay stuff. And this one, with the SKU number on top, it's an eBay card for him. So I knew there was one that he was wanting actively to sell. So I stayed pat, wanted it less. You need to want it less sometimes when you're negotiating, and it worked out. You know, save me 10 bucks. 10 bucks isn't a ton of money, but it does add up over a ton of deals. So happy to grab this one. Let's keep going. You know what these do?
Are you in on that or no?
Oh boy. Red out of 5. Sheesh. Let me look that up. And then here are just some behind the scenes of Trade Night. It was really, really cool to get us to be able to set up with SCN and collectibles on SI. Love that opportunity. It was really fun to meet a lot of you guys. At Trade Night, I did more selling than I anticipated. I bought some good stuff, which you guys are going to see in just a second here if you guys haven't already seen it over on TikTok. But had a really, really good time. Typical Trade Night, the room was crazy busy. Trade Night is huge at the National, and I think that they need to find a way to get a bigger space. It's tough because this room is, 50,000 square feet. Closing out a deal there, was buying something and then immediately sold something. So that's just how it goes sometimes. It is a ton of fun. Chase Burns, Bobby Witt, Clark, and Yamamoto. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's every card that I bought and traded for on day 3 of the National. All right, so I would say that today was a little bit more of a quality over quantity day. We still bought a good amount of cards, but I think that we bought some nicer cards today as opposed to just some of the, bulk that we bought yesterday. Awesome Jackson Holiday there. But Trade Night was pretty good. We sold a lot more than I thought that we were going to, but then we also were able to buy some pretty solid cards, some pretty nice stuff. So I'm overall, I think, pleased with day 3, recognizing that I'm not going to get to go to Trade Day tomorrow night. Got to catch our flight home. I'm a little curious to see what we end up walking home with. Sick patch on this gunner, game used. Awesome James Wood on the crystallized. So curious to see what we're able to walk home with and then actually buy on day 4 of the National. But only one way to find that out, and that is to stay tuned for tomorrow's content. Grab this for the PC. Really, really cool. I love the Best Performers Atomic of Soto. But nice Wit here. Got this one for 100 bucks. Definitely was pleased on that. Made a little video about this earlier today. A couple of the Mysticals. We do also hopefully get back our James Wood on the home field advantage tomorrow. So that should hopefully be, hoping we get a 10 so we can at least walk away with 110 for the weekend, but time will tell. Nice Churio auto there, as well as the Jackson Holiday numbered out of 100. A Rogue top-loaded card on the Jet Williams. And then our last stack here of our slabs for the evening. Another Holiday, a little Judge, and Paul Skeens. So that's everything we grabbed on day 3. Can't wait to see what day number 4 has to hold. All right, we are getting ready for day 4 of the National, my final day here. I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be crazy busy today. I fly out tonight, but we got the full day of the show. Check out this line though. So you've got your line here, and it stretches back for what looks to be at least a half mile. I bet you it's longer because we can't even see where it kind of hooks around that corner there. It's gonna be a busy day today. And so with that crazy long line, we already knew that it was gonna be busy today. With how busy it was on Wednesday, Thursday, and then yesterday on Friday. Saturday is always the busiest day of the National, but we know that it's gonna be crazy, crazy. With that, I am traveling, working today, pretty lean and mean, not bringing the case with me. I'm just got, my little fanny pack and then the camera. And my goal really today is just content. I have not been as good as I would like to be about filming with this camera. I'm so focused a lot of times on filming the TikToks, getting you guys stuff like that. So wanting to make sure that we're getting some content, some videos of things like that so that you guys are able to see what it's like to be here at the show. Thinking in the future, as I mentioned previously, we're gonna level up. Maybe try and get somebody to help us with some video in the future. So, but today we're gonna try and film some stuff before we gotta head out to the airport, but let's get to it. So here is a look at the start of the show. Honestly, this is probably 15 minutes after the doors opened, and you still had people flying in. The line was still, being filtered through. It was crazy, crazy busy today. I mean, you guys saw how long that line was. Not surprising to see this many people still coming in, but still an amazing sight to see. One of the first things we're doing today actually is trying to see whether or not we can grab our PSA order. But we had the Pico Armstrong and the Shohei Ohtani that you guys saw. We also did a end of show order for that James Wood home field advantage. That one has been ready since Thursday, so hoping maybe there's a shot we can grab it. The end of show stuff, I know it's end of show, but they take end of show orders up until today, which they do have to work through that Cuban backlog. Otherwise, they're not going to get through those end of show orders in time. So we've got a guy in the back looking, fingers crossed. All right, PSA sub number 2 of the National. So if you guys remember, we had the James Wood home field advantage. That one we pulled from our case of Topps Chrome. That one just wasn't as valuable as the Ohtani as well as the PCA. So that wasn't worth the $300 to get the same day turnaround time, even though it wasn't actually the same day. But this one we paid $150 for end of show, and luckily it's ready today. So we got a little grade reveal for you guys. Come on, I want my camera to focus. There we go. So James Wood, home field advantage, Topps Chrome. Let's see how we did. Very nice. So we were able to manage to get one PSA 10 at the show. Would have preferred either the Ohtani or the PCA to get that 10 if we were really, if I had my choice. But we'll absolutely take a 10 here. This is definitely the very first 10 that has been graded. So we'll maybe be able to get a little bit of a first to market premium. Who knows? Time will tell. We'll see whether or not we're able to move this at the show in all reality, knowing that I've only got, 6 hours left. I doubt it, but time will tell. Stay tuned. So while the National obviously is a card show, it in many ways is also a museum for cards, but also just, other pop culture collectibles, things like that. You've got all the Walking Dead costumes there. You've got some Batman costumes here. You're going to see in a second the costume for both the Riddler as well as the Joker, which was really, really cool. These were part of somebody's collection, who I believe is now auctioning them off through Heritage Auctions. There's Batman and Robin themselves. You've got a bunch of pop culture stuff. All of these items had, estimated values, etc. I'm going to show you guys the highest estimated value item at the very end here of this kind of little montage of all the amazing things they had. It is the National. There has to be some sports cards. Michael Jordan game use bat is super cool. Honestly, only had only value of $50,000. That was Jim Brown's Rookie of the Year trophy. You just have some of the most amazing things that you are never going to see anywhere else. Game used jerseys, game used bats. I mean, Mickey Mantle game used jersey and pants. The jersey's autographed. It's a once in a lifetime type experience. You've got Roberto Clemente game used jerseys there. Just crazy. And this was the cream of the crop. The Michael Jordan and Kobe dual logo man. This one I think has an estimated value of $5 million. Absolutely insane. Not something that you see every day, but if you find a dealer that does this, it is a sign that they are probably trustworthy and maybe worth supporting. And so I love here that this dealer is very, very clearly showing that there is damage or issues with their cards. It happens sometimes. You buy a card and it has damage. That one has print lines. That one's damaged. And the transparency is awesome. It would be so easy for this dealer to just come in and say, hey, we're not going to work with you here. It'd be so easy for this dealer to just come in and not disclose the damage. You buy the card, and guess what? By the time you get home and realize it has damage, you're SOL. We're hitting the end of the National, and I think that we are calling it on the Shohei Ohtani rookie auto chase. Were there cards that I could have bought that would technically have been within the budget? Yes. Were they the right card at the right price? Unfortunately, no. And while I could have bought one to flex for social media clout and to be able to say that I walked away from the National with the card that I was looking for, I would rather save the money and wait for the right card at the right price so that I can maximize my personal collection. So the hunt for the Shohei Ohtani rookie auto continues. Now, I've had a blast at the National. Can't wait for next year. This year's was super cool. It's really the first one since I've gotten to be big-ish, and all of the networking, meeting so many of you was so much fun. It's time to head home and get some rest because I am tired. There's going to be a full recap video coming out with my thoughts on the National this year, showing off all the cards that I bought because I didn't buy a single card today, which is fine. I still had a bunch of fun, met up with a bunch of people, had some business things today, so lots happened, just not buying today, and I'm not able to make trade night, unfortunately. So until next year, we'll see you guys.